I tell you, we have a very well-known person with us today. This fellow is well-known in hobby circles. We thought we'd ask him to come over. Prentice L. Wilson, would you come over here, please? And have a chair at our interview microphone. Mr. Prentice L. Wilson certainly is a hobbyist of unusual means. He collects electric light bulbs from famous places. Could you go into that a little bit further, Mr. Wilson?
You just about covered it.
Well, are you still doing this?
Well, yes, I'm still do it.
Mr. Wilson claims he has a collection of some 250 light bulbs which have come out of famous places ranging everywhere from the White House to the Merchandise Mart in Chicago, Madison Square Garden in New York, and the theater where My Fair Lady lay. Is there a story behind that?
No. You pretty much covered it. I have those bulbs that you mentioned. I also have a bulb from one of those remote-type telephone booths that you find along the highways.
Uh-huh. Well, what prompted you to start all of this?
Well, I was a bulb snatcher from way back.
Mm-hmm.
I'd take a bulb from the kitchen to bring to the living room. I'd,
Rather
more or
than
less rob Peter to pay Paul, as they say.
Uh-huh. And pretty soon you began taking them from other places, from public places. What was the first bulb you snatched outside of your own home?
Police headquarters.
Is that so? Was there any repercussion after that?
No. You know those little globes that the sergeant sits behind
Yes.
at the desk where you're booked?
Yeah, the blue.
You've been booked.
Yes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, he went out for a minute, and I took the globe off and took the bulb out, and I put the globe back on.
And he never knew it was gone. You certainly are an interesting person, Prentice L. Wilson, and we want to talk to you a bit more about your bulb collection, so stick around a while. We're still talking with Prentice L. Wilson, who collects electric light bulbs from well-known places. You brought some of the bulbs with you, and I notice you've got them all labeled. Could we look at some of those bulbs?
There are not too many different brands, as you know, of light bulbs. There's your Westinghouse, your GE, your Sylvania. Beyond that...
After that,
you've had it.
Yes.
Pretty much so. Now, of course, recent years, I've branched out to these pink lights, yellow lights,
Yes.
those insect bulbs.
Yes.
Swell.
Mm-hmm.
And your Christmas tree lights, your reds, your greens, your
This
yellows.
one here says it came out of the Holland Tunnel. How did you happen to get that? Oh, I'm sorry.
Gee whiz.
I'm very sorry.
What did the adhesive tape on that say?
It was Holland Tunnel. Was that
that's
a tough one to get?
You bet it was tough. You can only get that when you're stuck in there.
Oh, I'm sorry.
When the traffic is so busy that they can't watch
But you have time to stop and get out.
Get out and get up and get the bulb. Gee, I'll have to wait probably another year to get another one of those.
Well, that's unfortunate. I'll try to be more careful with the next one. Let me just reach over and get that.
Oh, now wait a minute.
Where
Why don't
was
we
that
just
one
leave
from?
them in the basket, and I can tell you what I have without you having to hold them.
Well,
They vary from
like
50 watts, 60, 75, 100.
Yeah, I'm not concerned so
Three-way
much.
switch bulbs I have.
Uh-huh.
I got that from a hotel lobby.
Mm-hmm.
Rochester, New York.
How many now do you have in your entire collection? Not counting the two, we just...
Well, I can't count those, so I'd have about 751. I had 53.
Mm-hmm. You must have plenty of light in your home now, huh? No more bulb snatching, certainly.
Yes, plain clear type that you can see the...
that's a real old one.
The stuff on the inside.
Can we see that one? Is that here? Yeah.
All right. Now, I'll show you. This is a very old one, and you can see it even has that tip of
Look at
glass,
that.
you see? The
Yeah,
way this
let me
real
see that
old-fashioned kind.
Looks fragile as anything.
This was made about 1927,
That's
which
the
goes
oldest
way
one you've got.
back
Uh-huh.
for electric light bulbs.
Just
It
look
really
at that,
is.
audience.
Isn't that a nice one?
And I have a little butter on my fingers from a toast I just finished. I'm sorry,
Well,
Mr. Wilson.
I'm going to get out of here.
I won't pick up any more. Prentice L. Wilson, our hobbyist of the week, appearing before the Bob and Ray interview microphone.
And now another new Bob and Ray feature, Spotlight on New Talent. Here is Harley Braithwaite, a linotype machine operator who's trying to break into show business with his new act, that of imitating people in various occupations. Before he does his Imitations, I'd like to ask, first of all, what is different about his act that he hopes will encourage the people to applaud him and to give him his start in show business.
And don't you want to welcome me to the show, Ray, first?
And welcome to the show.
Thank you. What is different about the act I do? Is that what you were asking me?
Yes. Is there anything unusual?
Well, I do probably more imitations, I think, than anyone else in this field.
I'm getting a hurry-up signal, so why don't you go right into your imitations? Here he is, ladies and gentlemen. Give a listen to Harley Braithwaite.
Thank you very much, Ray. First of Bob and Ray, I would like to imitate a motorcycle policeman. Let me see your driver's license.
Just keep going, Harley.
An exterminator. Where'd you say you saw them coming from, lady? A TV repairman.
Wait a second. Wait for your applause.
Thank
it's one of the first lessons in show business.
TV repairman.
I think when you're through with each individual imitation...
It's going to take too long if they applaud after each one.
All right, then will you all just hold your applause until the very end, and then we'll give them a tremendous ovation. Go right ahead, Harley.
TV repairman. We'll have to take it to the shop, lady. I think a whole lot of different parts are shot. Cha-cha teacher. You're doing fine. Just fine. Librarian. Shh.
That's your only
It's
female,
a lady,
huh?
yes. Disc jockey. This next tune is up 3 buttons from last week's list. Burglar. Oh, I'm awfully sorry. Don't get up. Waiter.
Wait a minute, I don't get that one, Harley.
It's a little joke. See, the burglar is there.
Oh, I see, yeah. At night. Okay.
Truck driver. Hey, one lane enough for you, buddy? Politician. I don't think I'd care to comment on that at this time. Carpenter. Ooh, ow, ooh.
I might point out that right here, Holly has waved his finger around like a carpenter who just struck his finger with a hammer.
Barber in a barber shop.
All right, I think...
Do you want anything off the top?
Uh-huh.
Waiter says, what do you have? Or he can say, thanks, cheapskate.
Mm-hmm. What about how many will you be?
Well, I'll add that. That's a good idea.
I think, Harley, that your act has certainly got everything you need except maybe the staging of it. I think...
Or we've got thousands of things on the menu. Beans.
Right, yeah. Well, Harley Braithwaite, ladies and gentlemen, a linotype machine operator who we trust has been pushed along the road to fame here at Spotlight on Amateur Talent.
Ray, I guess this would be the time to present a gentleman that we have recalled and to make an explanation of why we haven't had more reports from him over the past few months. As you'll remember, we sent our correspondent Brad Balloon to
Hi, Brad.
Madrid. Brad has just returned at our request
Sit down, Brad.
to this country, and
Well, I'm gonna
Brad, I
fire
think
away
it's-
a few questions at you, and why don't you speak up, because, as you know, you're in trouble.
Ray is giving him instructions now as to how to
Because,
act.
Seems like you goofed quite a bit.
Well, let's get to it. Brad,
Hello there, Bob, and hello again, everybody.
Brad, you've been in Lisbon, I guess, Madrid, Barcelona, for the past 6 months. We had one report from you. That was the day after you arrived, and nothing since. What gives? What cooks?
I don't know how to answer that. I didn't know it was going to be such a pointed question, Bob. The basic mistake, of course, was sending me to Portugal because I couldn't, nor I still can't understand Portuguese.
Well, as you understand, we did pick you at the last minute. All of the other correspondents were out, and other news capitals of the world. We did need to cover the Lisbon situation, the Madrid situation.
The Iberian Peninsula picture.
The what?
The Iberian Peninsula picture.
Well, why didn't you give us this in the last 6 months? You haven't covered any of it.
The problem...
we didn't hear from you for 4 months.
Well, I would attend, let's say the president or the foreign minister of that country would issue a press statement. And I couldn't make, it was all Greek to me. I couldn't make head nor tail out of it. And consequently, I didn't know what to say. All I could do would be more or less interpret his mood by whether he smiled or grimaced.
Couldn't you have wired us back for help in some respect? We might have rounded up a translator for you, or it seems like a pretty weak excuse.
Well,
What's the matter? Are you having a good time over there?
Yes, was there anything? Well, yes, I enjoyed it very much. The weather
wasn't what
is,
you went for.
might be able to describe the weather there as fair and warmer. We spent
Well, we
a lot
weren't concerned with the weather,
spent a lot
Brad.
of time there at the beautiful beaches. The people all love the seashore there, and the picturesque fishermen as they'd go out with their seines was certainly something that you could write a song about.
I know, but
the sunsets were beyond description. The skies that formed the backdrop were beautiful, always snow-covered.
Brad, I hate
blue sky.
to interrupt, but as you know, we're not very happy with your reports, and we're not very pleased with your attitude or your work. So we're transferring you to our Guam office. You'll be leaving on Monday.
Well, okay, then.
That's the way it is.
Okay, Bob and Ray.
Sorry to have to do that.
On the air, too.
The vast Canadian North Woods supplied the majestic background for our next feature. This week we took our roving microphone to the Great Hope Lumber Camp. Great Hope Lumber and Pulp Plant here in Vendome, Manitoba, Canada, to chat with some of the husky he-men who work year in and year out to provide the wood for this nation and its resources. We're standing in the mess shack, which is the center of activity at the moment, and with everyone else out busily chopping down wood. It's a few minutes before noon, and we thought we'd chat with Pierre, the chef here. Pierre,
Yes,
half-breed, is that...
my name
I
is...
have my notes say,
They was calling me that.
talk to Pierre the half-breed.
I'm Pierre LeBoeuf on it there.
Pierre LeBoeuf, what is this... What is this meal you're concocting for the rugged men of the great Canadian North
But this
Wood?
is their noontime lunch there.
This is lunch.
They will be coming on inside the mess house there to eat soon.
Uh-huh.
They, of course, work on top outdoors there. They want to eat hearty.
They'll have plenty of husky, hearty appetites, Pierre. So I imagine you've got a real heavy meal of some kind of filling hash and steaks and things like that.
Well, of course, the starch there is what the men need. You better eat a lot of starch there.
Could you give us just an idea of today's menu, for instance?
Well, they will have the Vichy Soissou there to start with.
Uh-huh.
Then they have a chance to eat on the escargot there, the snail on it. They was eat the snail there. They was served hot with a garlic sauce there.
That's something I'm told you're quite famous for.
Yes, I was very famous for that. Then they will have their choice of 3 main course dinners there.
They have a choice.
They could have the filet sole mignon, which is the sauce there on top of a sole.
Yes.
They could have the coquille of pigeon on it.
Coquille of
That's
pigeon.
a pigeon that was cooked with a sauce there, with all the feathers plucked out from him on it.
Uh-huh.
Then we have the la poulette in a bean sauce too there. That was your chicken there.
And
But
I see.
then they top it all off there with rice pudding on it.
Sounds like a meal any husky he-man would certainly enjoy sitting down to after a morning chopping wood here in the Great North Woods. Thank you, Pierre. We've had a little bit of the color of...
Here they come now.
Duck there. We better get out of here. Where is Mr. Jack Bailey of Hollywood, California? I've heard that name before.
I believe that's me.
Star of Truth or Consequences, originating...
No, I've never been on that show at all.
Now,
No.
but think of it, he doesn't have a long beard, and he's not bald-headed.
No, I'm
And
Jack Bailey, the famous brain surgeon.
Oh, well, I didn't... I'm sorry, I made the mistake. I thought you were the Jack Bailey.
Well, I consider myself the Jack Bailey.
Well, you could be, but he doesn't wear shoes. I just happened to notice your feet there. Your toes curl up in front, have little bells on them, don't they?
Yeah, but that's the shoe I'm wearing.
I know, but I know he doesn't wear that kind. I've seen him on TV.
These are shoes for eccentric guys like me.
But
I mean, you know,
people
it's a
come in
push
and
and
they
I'm
say
in a
to you,
giggle.
will you operate on my brain? Do they see those shoes? Do they think anything or say anything?
Oh, no, I don't wear them around the office. I go barefoot there.
Oh, well, that should set their minds at ease, I suppose. What are you doing here in town?
I'm here for a head trepanning job myself.
Oh, well, say, it's kind of like a busman's holiday for you, huh? Have an enjoyable stay here, and I'm sorry that we misconstrued who you were, but now I guess we've got it
I'm
all
glad it's
straightened
cleared
out.
up anyway.
Okay, well, we could go over there and sit down, and there he goes. Jack Bailey, our guest, ladies and gentlemen. He's sitting right in the front row, and I hope you come back and see us again sometime, Jack.
Well, all depends on what they say when I get through with my wig.
Mm-hmm. Does anybody have anything they want to swap in the audience?
Yes, sir,
because
I
we
have this
all
thing
right.
I'd like to get rid of.
This
I'd
is
like
our
to swap it off for
regular
a,
swap day.
I'd like to swap it off for a marble top table.
What is this thing you have here that you want to swap for a marble top table?
It's a pair of baseball spikes.
See, those look in pretty good shape. They've never been used, have
Oh,
they?
and they're alligator.
Mm-hmm.
No, they're very good. They cost me when I was a boy. See, I've had them a good many years, and I've kept them in Vaseline and
Yeah.
like that. And they have stayed soft and supple.
How did you finally come to decide you'd just soon trade them for a marble top table?
Well, my mother said that she was sick and tired of eating off these spikes.
Does anybody here have a marble top table that they'd like to trade for a pair of
I have one, but it's a
spikes?
very old marble top table, but I don't know what I'd do with the baseball spikes.
Mm-hmm. Well, do you have any suggestions, sir? That,
Well, do
the
you
lady
give them
could-
to your grandson?
Do you have a grandson?
Yes, I could do that.
Very good solution to the problem. Where's the table?
Well, the table's at home. I didn't bring that with me.
Well, one of the requisites of swap day is that you have the item you want to swap here with you. Now, this gentleman followed
Well,
the
what
rules.
the deuce am I supposed to do? Bring a marble table in here?
Oh, gracious, I don't know, ma'am.
Well, heavens to Betsy. I mean, baseball spikes you could carry in a paper bag.
Well, goodness, the fellow wants to get whatever he swaps and take it home with him.
Well, great Scott. Land's sakes, a marble table isn't something that particularly a lady like myself could carry around.
That is understood, but criminalities, if you want to trade something, you should have it here with you.
Mm-hmm. And then the swap is off.
That's right.
Well, could I do business on the outside with the lady? I mean, could I get her phone number?
Anything you want to arrange that way is all right with us.
okay.
It doesn't have to take place.
All right, man,
on
and
the
I'll talk it over with you. All right. Now, then these
This,
spikes are what size?
here is the Bob and Ray
I
show.
remember they're 8.5 and a D wide.
It's time for our Bob and Ray lucky phone call now, and we're dialing a Bagshaw, Wisconsin phone number. For our lucky listener there, if he or she is at home, certainly there's going to be a big surprise in store because we're adding a new feature to Lucky Phone Call this week. Person isn't left holding the bag, so to speak. Hello? Is this the home of Ms. Fern Diddy in Bagshaw, Wisconsin?
Yes, it is.
This is Bob and Ray
For
in
you,
New York.
Fern.
Oh, I guess we had Mr. Diddy there. This is Bob and Ray in New York.
She'll be right in the phone.
Oh, I thought you were on the phone there.
She's cannon.
Okay, so hurry her up, though. We don't have too much time.
Hurry up, Fern.
I guess the phone number was in Ms. Diddy's name instead of Mr. Diddy.
Hello.
Mrs. Diddy,
Yes.
this is Bob and Ray in New York.
Who?
Bob and Ray, our lucky phone call for the week. Your name was
Well,
selected from among hundreds of thousands.
This is a lucky phone call, Eddie.
She's telling her husband, Eddie, that it is the
Right.
lucky phone call. Miss Diddy, you were canning when we called you.
That's right. I'm putting up beets and peas.
Sound delicious. How do you feel about having been selected at random
Well, I'm
scientifically?
just so excited about it. I didn't know that you had... what is this calling?
Bob and Ray,
Do you ever hear Bob and Ray
lucky phone
monitor?
call.
No, we haven't heard.
Uh-huh. Well, you're home, and that's all that it takes to get our new feature,
Well-
which we're adding to Lucky Phone Call this week.
Good. What do we get?
You're going to get a Bob and Ray scroll, Miss Diddy. And we'll have it in the mail to you. Just let me check the address there. You are at 404 Spruce Street in Bagshaw. Is that right?
Bob and Ray scroll. What?
Yes.
What
Just
is-
saying that you were the Lucky Phone Call recipient today. And
What's
it'll be
lucky?
dated and signed by us, Bob and Ray.
What's lucky about that?
That's it. Thanks very much, Miss Diddy, for talking with us. Glad you're home. Back to your canning now.
What's...
Bye-bye, my dear. That's the first of the lucky phone calls, and it looks like we're off to another successful season of great ones.
It isn't often that you see me jumping here in my seat this way with excitement because we've seen many exciting things come and go. Today, however, I think we've topped them all. Sitting opposite me here in our little booth is one of the greatest impersonators that I've ever had the privilege to know and to talk with. He's been here an hour, and he had us all awe-stricken as he ran through many of his impersonations. For those listening, I wonder if you'd repeat your name for us, please.
Arch Rawlinson.
Arch Rawlinson. And would you care to tell them what you do, or would you like me to go ahead?
Well, I'm rather modest about it. But,
I understand,
I
Arch.
guess you could go ahead and describe it.
Well, friends,
I'm glad to work for you.
Mr. Rawlinson here impersonates presidents. Presidents
All before 1900.
Presidents who were president before 1900. So here you're going to sit in on a little bit of history.
It's been a rather interesting study for me to get the voices down, as we say.
I was going to ask you about that. How did you really get their voices?
First, of course, I had to study the lives of the presidents.
Sure.
Learn as much as I could about them, their personal habits, their family relationships, their part in American history.
Of course, there's famous speeches, too.
Yes.
I wonder then, before we
Although
take it...
I lay off the speeches a little bit, I go more for the things they would say in every day. It's like going to the store or something.
Mm-hmm. All right. Who is the first president we
Martin Van Buren.
Martin Van Buren.
And he sounds something like this.
All right,
Would you give me 3 pounds of white flour, please? That's when he went to the store.
That was
shopping.
What President Martin Van Buren sounded. Let's quickly
you're
run...
Jimmy Madison.
All right.
Would you like to hear that?
All right, sir.
I say, looks like we're going to have rain before morning.
That was...
See them clouds?
Former President...
Over in the west there.
Sorry, sir.
That's all.
That was former President James Madison. Who else do you have on your list?
Oh, well, practically anyone you can mention.
How about
Franklin Pierce?
Franklin Pierce.
Well, I don't do that one so well. I think the one probably I do the best is President John Polk. And he sounded something like this. John would walk down the street, and he would wave to a friend and say, "Hello there."
Uh-huh.
Right, tell him it was James Polk.
I didn't know that. I thought that was President James Polk, sir.
No, that was President John Polk.
I don't think we had a President John Polk. I know we had a James Polk.
George, I must have been doing the wrong one.
Did we have a President Polk, really? Are you sure about that?
I better look that up.
Did we have a President Polk? They're nodding from the communicator's
James
table.
Polk, though, right?
Well, nodding yes. But it is James Polk. Well, Arch, it's been a thrill.
I've checked with Mr. Copeland on that.
I'm not jumping around my seat as much now as I was
no, I
before.
notice you're not. You calm down there. You kind of slump down in your seat a little bit.
Do you do this in theaters or nightclubs?
Wherever I can be booked, yes.
Arch, what was the last name again?
Rawlinson.
Rawlinson. President impersonator. Presidents, that is, before 1900.
Hiya, sports fans. This is Biff Burns in the sports room, and with the pennant season drawing to a close, I thought it might be appropriate today to play over a tape of a famous locker room celebration that took place some 23 years ago, the day the Boston Belters won the pennant. So with that in mind, here is that old tape.
Hi, this is if you can't hear me, don't blame me. Hi, this is Jimmy Porter of the Porter House of Sports. And if you can't hear me, it's not my fault. Hey, Art, Art, over here. This is Art Beebe, the manager of the Boston Belters. Hey, if you can't hear me, don't blame me. Art's trying to work his way over here, and in a few seconds we'll find out how most of the fellas feel about winning the... Hey, Art, over here.
Hi, Jimmy. I hope you can hear me.
I can hear you, Art. Can you hear me? Hey, don't blame me if you can't hear me. The din here is really... is terrific. All right, how do the boys feel about winning the pennant? Are they excited?
Well, you can imagine. Hey, cut it out, Don.
Hey, Don Seaman. Can you get over here a second, Don?
Jimmy, the boys feel just great about
Don,
winning.
hey, wait a minute. Don Seaman. terrific.
Hi, Jimmy, pal.
Don Secret. Hey, Don, where can we find the Grey Goose himself, Nick Simmons? Hey, Don, where's the Grey Goose?
Isn't this din terrific, Jimmy?
And I said, yeah. Hey, wait a minute. Here's Charlie Toller. Charlie Toller. Over here, Charlie.
Jimmy, isn't this great? Hey, cut it out, Cooney. Don't pour that stuff on my head.
Hey, I just saw Joe Cooney. I've covered a lot of events, but this is terrific. I hope you can hear me, that's all. If you can't, it's not my fault. Hey, Jimmy Schwab, Jimbo. Hey, Jimbo, over here, boy. Can you make it over?
Hi, Jimmy. You ever see anything like this? I've never seen anything like this.
Oh, it's terrific, Jim. I've never seen anything like it. It's really tremendous.
I've never seen anything like this. Did you ever hear so much noise?
It's terrific. It's a real experience being down here. You've got to be down here to appreciate it, right, Jim?
Hey, don't horse around, Brokey. Don't shove, Vince.
Oh, hey, wait a minute. Here's Vince Broggie. Vince Broggie, how do you feel? Vince.
Great, Jimmy. Feel great.
Vince, doesn't it feel great? I mean, at this moment to be a member of the pennant-winning team like the Boston Belders?
Jimmy, I don't know if you can hear me, but the Boston Belder locker room is on the third base side under the stands.
I wonder if it's as noisy over there, because the din here is terrific.
And so it went on that day, 23-odd years ago, the day the Boston Belders clinched the pennant. I hope you've enjoyed sharing this sports memory with me, and until next time, this is Biff Burns saying so long.
Time now for the Bob and Ray Good Neighbor Award for this week. And our letter nominating the lady we're about to hear from comes from Lafayette, Indiana. And it nominates someone whom they term everybody's grandmother. And she's here now. Ray, would you bring her up? Aunt Martha Pietrasanto.
All right, come on, lady.
Right over here, Mother.
And you'll talk to Bob, and I'll stand by.
Hello there.
Hello.
You are everybody's grandmother, Aunt Martha Pietrasanto. Is that right?
I'm so excited. The trip here was
We've
so wonderful.
looked forward to meeting you, Aunt Martha.
I want to thank my dear neighbors who sent my name in. It was so kind
Well,
of
it
them.
certainly
I don't
was
think I deserve it.
Wonderful
really.
letter from Lafayette, and they told us all of the things that you do that they think you should be nominated for a good neighbor. And would you tell us, please?
Well,
What was the one thing that really decided us?
the family across the street were all evicted during a raging blizzard last winter. And
Would you speak up a little louder, everybody's grandmother? They're signaling me they're not hearing you too well in there. Just a little more volume. That's it.
Well, I'm going to cry now, I'm afraid. Well, this family across the street were evicted last winter during a raging blizzard, and their furniture was all out there in the street, covered with snow, and they were standing around and shivering.
No one coming to their help, hmm?
That's right. And I thought, well, now somebody should do something. And so I brought them each a graham cracker.
And so, for helping this poor, unfortunate family, you were nominated by your good neighbors there in Lafayette, Indiana, as our good neighbor of the week. Everybody's grandmother, Aunt Martha Pietrasanto. And we want to wish you a lot of good fun while you're here in New York, everybody's. And you'll be put up at the Bob and Ray Hotel, of course. And everything is on the house. I hope you enjoy it.
Thank you, and I want to thank again my friends.
You keep on helping everybody, won't you?
I certainly will.
Thank you, Aunt Martha.
Wally Ballou is stationed at one of New York's newest and most complete canine headquarters. It's called Muttarama. Come in, please, Wally Ballou.
Lee Ballou from the swank Matarama, located on New York's Park Avenue, and chatting with the founder of this unusual institution, which gives complete dog service from A to Z, Mr. Hiram Hemsinger. Hiram, if I may call you that, we're standing right now, I understand, in the canine clothing and jewelry department.
That's right, Mr. Ballou. Here you can spend anything from a few cents up to several $100s on collars for your dog and dog coats and gowns.
Really amazing.
We have, as you can see, lovely imported silks for the girl dogs. We have some conservative tweed coats for the males. We have shoes here,
Made by, I won't mention his name, a
No,
prominent bootmaker.
Uh-huh.
The fabrics range all the way from the drip dries up to Vicunises, and they're all designed exclusively for us by the famous Izzy of Paris.
Yes, and I was noticing particularly these rain booties that you have for keep the doggies' feet dry.
Yes.
They're lined in cashmere, aren't they, for winter?
Yes, that's right. They're winter booties because dogs don't like to get their feet wet any more than you do, Mr. Ballou.
And, of course, this dog perfume that seems to be quite popular, lamp pole number 5. This is the beauty parlor we're stepping into now, Department 2. What goes on here, Harry?
Well, we have...
Hiram, brother.
That's all right. We have here beside the clipping, we have a staff of plastic surgeons who can do nose bobs and ear jobs, tail jobs.
Well, what's the newest thing in dog hairdos, Hiram?
Your poodle cut is the most popular right now.
Uh-huh. I thought the poodle cut was always popular.
Well, never on Irish setters or Airedales or Cocker Spaniels or English sheepdogs they weren't.
No. How about the wirehaired terriers?
Can't do much with that. You can't do much with it.
Uh-huh.
Iron it.
One of the most amazing features of Muttarama is the breeding kennel.
We've developed a new breed for people who want a watchdog with a good loud, vicious bark, but do not want such a big animal around the house. Now, most of your smaller breeds have a bark that wouldn't frighten a bunny rabbit.
Uh-huh.
We've developed a miniature dog with a big, spooky bark. Would you bring Brutus out, please?
Yes, I will, Harold.
Here he comes. Do you like him?
Say, yes, he looks like a Pekingese, ladies and gentlemen. He's about 8 inches high. Strictly a lapdog type. Can you get him to bark for us so we could hear his
yes,
scary bark?
Make him bark, will you, Luther?
Wow. Boy, that's really big dog frightening power and compact dog economy and convenience, Hiram.
Yes, it is.
I'm sorry we don't have time right now to visit the K-9 furniture department, but I understand they sell everything from doggy 4-poster beds to tiny kitchen sets. However, we will return a little later to attend a session of the Muttarama Dog Obedience School, so stay tuned.
Come on up on the 5th floor, Mr. Ballou, up to our cafeteria. I'll treat you to a bite to eat.
Wonderful.
Makes its own gravy.